Yeah, right?
You're welcome.
Here we go. All right. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Solution Sunday, because the soul is the solution. I am here today with my great good friends, Kathy Bradley in Long Island and Keith Leon S. right here with me in Lake Placid, New York. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
And we are here. So good morning, Kathy.
Good morning. It's great to see the two of you together.
Morning, Kathy.
It's fun. So we were all brought together by Keith Leon S. and this beautiful book, Navigating the Clickety-Clack. So
How to live a peace-filled life in a seemingly toxic world.
that's right. So this world seems like it's pretty toxic, but guess what? Doesn't have to be. Well, let's talk about the clickety-clack today and what's going on in this crazy world. So where shall we start? Oh,
I say with Keith. I think it would. I love the little story with the clickety-clack, because a lot of people are like, "What's the clickety-clack?"
Yeah, what the heck is that clickety-clack? When my wife and I started our business, which seems like 100 years ago, we had a spiritual mentor, and we would call him with our new entrepreneur freakouts, if you will. and every time I'd call him freaking out, he would say, "Relax, you're in the clickety-clacks." It's like, what's the clickety-clack you keep talking about? And he said, "Did you have a 10-speed bicycle when you were growing up?" Yeah. Okay. So when you were pedaling and you're changing from one gear to the next, but it didn't quite catch yet, what noise did that make? And I said, "Oh, clickety-clack, clickety-clack." And he said, "Yeah, but you had faith that it was going to go into that next gear, so you kept pedaling, right?" Yes. And then once it did click into gear, then you're off into a whole new gear that was better than the one you were in before, correct? Yeah. So that's why I'm telling you, just relax. You're in the clickety-clack, have faith, keep moving forward. And once it clicks into gear, then you're going to be into a whole new gear. So just relax. And so a few years back, I was on my angel tour, and then COVID happened. All events stopped. All live events stopped. And that was really my life purpose project. So I was like, well, if I'm not doing that, what am I to do? And I went to prayer and meditation, and that's what came to me strongly and clearly, was him telling me that. So navigating the clickety-clack, I realized, was that space in between where we don't know what to do. We're not sure what the next step is. We're in freak out. Right? We're in freak out mode. And how to navigate that, and how to live peacefully in a seemingly toxic world. And so I just interviewed all the people that I knew were doing that, including these two right here. And that's the book, and that's what we want to share with you today, because it did seem like the perfect topic for the world right when it downloaded. Because and even since we're all have some form of clickety-clack going on.
Yes, there's a lot of clickety-clack out there in the world these days. And how are we going to navigate that? And how are we going to start mitigating that as humanity? How are we going to move through and change gears and move the whole game up into an easier, because when you're pedaling and you're in that lower gear, it's like it's harder to pedal in the lower gear. But as when you're on that straightaway and you raise it up into the higher gears, it's like, oh, then it just goes.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are we going to take it up to where we can just cruise instead of having to work so hard?
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think it's moving out of that fear where we're stuck in anxiety and tension, and we don't know what to do, and we're in that space and we're listening to all of the fear being propagated on the news and in the papers and the people, and there's a real polarization. So one thing that I've found is actually disconnecting. And I feel like the divine has set this up so beautifully if we can see it from that space where we are being brought back into our homes. And it's interesting. I feel like I've kind of come full circle, because before I got into the angels and everything else, I created a serenity room in a designer show house. And I realized the other day, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is perfect. This is something that can nurture us. If we create that environment in our homes, it can sustain us, nurture us. And so what can we do to create that environment? I find it's nature. It's bringing in the 5 elements: the water, the fire, the air, the earth, and love. And it looks like you guys were talking about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
Absolutely. And that the 5th element that you mentioned, love. Love is the element of all elements.
Mm-hmm.
You're all made of and from love. And in love, there really is no fear. So fear is always that illusion. And anything that causes us to be afraid, it's something that we need to look at, because we're infinite beings. We are angelic beings, and having this physical experience. And there's nothing in this physical experience that can harm us. We're
And as
not.
you're saying that, I'm looking at your huge wings, and I'm like, I don't know how they can both fit in this picture. It's great.
Yeah. I like to say love is the answer to every question. And I used to post that at least once a year on Facebook. And man, the first few years, people would try to take me to task on that. I was like, that's the one that everybody's going to come back and beat me up.
Wow.
Love doesn't pay my rent. How does love, what's love got to do with this? And they would throw out like the scenarios. And I would just be like, oh, well, what came from that scenario was this, and then present what could emerge from it that would be positive. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. And yeah. So I love that you said that.
Well, yeah, and we fail to recognize as humanity, I didn't know this for forever. I couldn't figure out why is my life not working? Well, everything is energy. So the quality of energy we're using is the quality of energy that we get to experience. So if we're in fear is what we're using to generate our reality. So as we look out in the world today, we see that there's a lot of fear that has been projected out into the reality. So it's pretty scary out there. So if we start to notice that, wait a minute, if we're generating this reality from our thoughts and emotions, if we get ourselves out of fear and back into love generates a completely different reality than fear does.
They can't coexist, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things when you're saying that, I think, is a shift. And the shift is from looking out there and taking our cue from the outside world to an inside job.
Absolutely.
And looking within and creating that harmony. And it's through self-acceptance and self-appreciation. And we're imperfect. And if we can see that and love ourselves anyway, I think that's the key, the key of forgiveness and love, compassion.
Absolutely.
Perfectly imperfect.
Exactly. I always say perfectly imperfect.
Hi, Donna. Hi, Susan. Hi, Shannon. And hi, Karen. Karen's another.
Karen's awake. Woohoo!
Another Navigating the Clickety-Clack author.
That's right.
Susan,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. If anybody has any questions, comments, feedback, feel free to pop them in the chat.
Good.
And let's draw a card. We have Keith's beautiful angel cards this morning. So we are drawing this card right here.
Here's the back of them.
Oh,
Aren't they beautiful?
Oh,
beautiful.
And this is the card that I drew, Archangel Hanael.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. So what does Hanael want us to know today?
Haniel wants us to know, you need only ask me to assist you with new beginnings, creating positive change or good fortune.
Perfect.
There is no gift that is too great for you to receive, for you are created in the image and the likeness of the one. You and the Father are one. You and the Mother are one. All you can imagine is available to you now.
Ooh.
Right on time, that
So let's play with that. Because
one.
here we are, we're creating the new earth, heaven on earth.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. So what does the heaven on earth feel like? What energies do we use to create heaven on earth?
Joyful, happy, easy. It's all easy. I think we're so used to striving and pushing, and
Yeah.
it's the simple following nature
Absolutely.
Grace and
for
ease
me. Grace and ease. Yep.
is. Yeah, look, so many people talk about like work hard,
Yeah.
work
Oof.
hard,
Mm.
just work
That
hard
had
and
me
everything will
tripped
work out. And I found the opposite
Like-
to be true. The harder I worked, the less success I had. And
Exactly.
when I let it be easy, let it, because the key word is let, meaning allow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let it be easier, then ways to make it easier started to show up for me.
Exactly. And that's what had me tripped up forever in this lifetime. It's like, what are you going to do? You need to have a job. You need to go do something. You need to get money. You need to make money. You need to blow. And I was like, oh my God, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I can't figure this out. Like, why does it have to be so hard? Like,
Mm.
you have to earn a living. It's like, aren't I living? Like, didn't I already earn my spot here? Like, it was so confusing to me.
Mhm.
And I couldn't navigate that clickety-clack. And my life just was clickety-clack. Like, all it was just thump to thump to thump.
Yeah.
And it's like, once I finally started to understand, like, well, wait a minute, everything that's showing up in my life is a reflection of my energy, and it's a reflection of my beliefs,
Mhm.
and it's a reflection of how I feel about myself.
Mhm.
I was like, wait a minute, what if I just start using better energy? And I was shown this beautiful image of a snow globe when I was asking, like, how do I navigate this clickety clack? And I was shown this beautiful image of a snow globe in my my meditation, my vision. And all of a sudden I realized that snow globe is basically my own personal space, my own personal energy space. And each one of us has an energy field. We're not aware of it because we don't see it with our physical eyes, but that energy field that's around us, it's our personal energy. And everything is energy. So the energy that's in our energy field, the energy that we're focused on and using, whether it's fear or doubt or worry or shame or guilt or joy or ease or peace, that what's in our energy field is what's showing up in our life. So when all of this clickety clack was showing up in my life, I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's like, all right, wait a minute. Let me start drawing in some peace and some ease. What would it be like if things were just easy? And I started to consciously bring that energy into my personal space. And I realized, Keith teaches something very, very similar. What do you teach about that?
I call it my 3 feet. Draw a circle around me, on the floor, around me, 3 feet wide. That's what I can affect. That's what I can truly affect. And that's where my focus is. You know, how am I in this 3 feet? How am I loving myself? We were talking about that, right? Kathy, am I loving myself? Am I being kind to myself? Am I doing the work that I need to do to feel good, to not get caught up in the clickety-clack? How am I in this 3 feet? And when I do the work to get that 3 feet to where it's feeling good in that 3 feet, right? Then I really bring an awareness to anybody that's in my 3 feet. So if I walk over, I'm sitting next to Lisa. How am I being with Lisa in this 3 feet? Am I being loving? Am I being kind? Am I being all the qualities that I have given myself with her? And then focus on that, who's in my 3 feet. And then the time that I would expand it is if I'm in a room speaking live in front of people, I'll expand my 3 feet to fill the room. How am I being with everyone in this room? What energy am I bringing there? And then for our meditation, then we like to expand that to cover the whole globe, right? But it all starts with this 3 feet, because I truly believe that if everybody dealt with their 3 feet, got everything okay in that 3 feet, and we all did that at the same time, then we would have that thing that people allude to called world peace.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like we're like, we are a collective consciousness. Humanity is a collective, and it's like we are all one drop of water in the ocean that is humanity. And if you think of the ocean, if every drop of water was just simply pure and clear, the ocean would be simply pure and clear. And we each have the ability to purify and clear our own energy spaces.
Mhm.
And if each and every one of us took our globe, our bubble, our 3 feet, and simply cleared it and started making it peaceful and calm and happy, that would, every drop of water in the ocean, we would just have an ocean of peace and calm and happy.
And it takes some assembly. Yeah. So when we're in that bubble or the 3 legs, seeing if we're in alignment with source, do we feel good? Or is there some misalignments that are going on that we need to address? Because we have free will and we are each responsible for ourselves and the energies that we put out there. So if I'm misaligned in any way, I have to look at that, tweak it, and bring it back into alignment. So there's some assembly that's required with all of this, isn't there?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like, and how do we notice those energies? How do we notice if we're out of alignment? And how do we bring that back in?
When your buttons are pushed. That's what I always say. Okay, someone just pushed my buttons. If it didn't bother me, it's nothing to be addressed, right? But if it's pushing my buttons, that's why it's an inside job. It's not really about what they say or do.
Yeah.
It's how do I respond or do I react?
Yeah. And that's, yeah. So you're talking, we get our buttons pushed when we're judging.
Exactly.
I like to say that every judgment that we have, we either feel like we were that thing in the past, are that thing now, or will be that thing in the future. If we weren't afraid that we were, are, or going to be that thing, we would have no judgment on it.
Right.
Every time you get that, you triggered, look at what it is, and then say, where have I been that? Am I that now? Or am I afraid I will be that in the future? And see if that doesn't ring true. Every time it's one of the three, and sometimes a combination of those things.
Yeah. For me, I kind of look at my globe, my energy space as my own personal sanctuary. It's my energetic space, and I can set the energy any way I want. And if there's something that's showing up in my life that is unpleasant in some way, that it's like, I'd really like this to be different, I go back and I look, how does that make me feel? Do I feel guilty, or do I feel angry, or do I feel afraid? What is it that I feel about that situation? And then I can narrow it down and go, oh, that makes me feel really afraid. Okay, that situation is being generated from fear. So there's obviously some fear in my personal space. Let me take that energy, let me look for that energy in my globe, and let me use my third eye. Let me visualize that as an energy that's in my space. And I usually look at it like there's a cloud, like a grayness, a dark, something that's heavy or dark
Mhm.
in my energy space. And this is all just using your imagination. But then I look and I gather up that fear, and then I transmute that fear. I can make it get heavy and drop it out the bottom of my globe. I just open up a little trap door and let it go boom, like a rock out of my globe. Or I use the flame, like the violet flame, and I just put it in the flame and let the flame transmute it. There are a million different ways. Use your imagination, but it's up to each one of us to do that daily energy hygiene. What energy is in my energy field, and how do I just clear that out? Because if we do that every day, just like a little vacuum cleaner, and just start cleaning out our energy, it's amazing how fast your reality can change.
Mm.
Yeah. And then you can transmute that and turn it back into the love.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagination. I think of that as your 5D viewfinder. Right?
Yeah.
It is. That's where all the infinite possibilities are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have there people don't I think a lot of people don't really think about this. I never used to think about this, but there's non-physical and physical. We're all focused on the physical stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, I got this.
Right.
I'm a physical thing. This
Right.
is a physical thing. I live in a physical house.
3D.
But then, and there's the non-physical, light, non-physical, sound, non-physical, thoughts, non-physical, emotions, non-physical. We don't really pay attention to the non-physical. Energy is non-physical. So if we start, and the only way that we can see the non-physical is with our third eye, with our imagination. It's the tool that we use to see the non-physical realms. So the imagination has been deeply, deeply maligned.
Mhm.
That's just your imagination. That doesn't count for anything. Stop daydreaming. Pay attention. It was like,
That's where every movie came from. That's
right.
where
Exactly. That's where every great invention has occurred.
right, anybody that's ever had any success, that's where it all started, or else they didn't have it.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, if we can't imagine it, we can't experience it.
Exactly.
So the
Yeah.
imagination is such a powerful tool.
You had
So-
someone that wrote in, right? That,
Yeah. Talking about Susan had mentioned that her daughter was feeling afraid. So, when we're feeling these energies, then if we focus on the thing that we're afraid of, or we allow ourselves to sit in that energy, then we start attracting things into our lives that are of that same energy. So to be able to utilize our imagination, to be able to start looking at, all right, I feel afraid. Okay, so I've got some fear in my energy field. And that fear is always the illusion. It's always false evidence appearing real. And the reason I say that is because we're infinite beings. We're literally infinite beings, and we are completely unlimited in any way, shape, or form. And we are love. We are source itself. So and we are the oneness. And so there's literally nothing to be afraid of. So when we start to look at what's in my energy field, start to notice, wait a minute, let me clear that out, because we're so focused on the thing that we're afraid of, we don't realize that we actually have the power to change that by changing the energy.
and if we,
And how we change that would be with our thoughts and with our feelings, connecting with all of the possibilities that are there. So I do think it does take that time to be by ourselves, to be out in nature and ground with Mother Earth. When we're in that space, sitting under a tree with our feet on the grass, smelling the fresh air and hearing the birds, there's no fear there, is there? And so that's being cradled in this beautiful Mother Gaia. And that's where we get to create from. So if we're in that place of fear, if we can go outside and breathe in the fresh air, breathe in the love, exhale the fear, breathe in the light, and exhale the worry. That's one of the most beautiful ways that we can do, and it's simple. Doesn't cost any money. You don't have to go anywhere. If you're not even close to a tree or the grass, you can imagine that you're there.
It was Susan. You said?
Yeah.
So, and Susan, that's something you could do with your daughter. And another thing you could do is, if she's expressing fear, is say, how would you like it to be? How would you wish it to be instead of that? Right. So any fear that she puts words on, what's the opposite of that? How would you like to see it? And have her start to put words on the opposite of that, the good qualities, if you will. Could shift the energy.
Absolutely.
The other thing is connecting with the angelics, with the angels, with Source, with God, asking. We each have free will. So we need to take the time and ask for assistance. They cannot help us unless we actually ask.
That's right.
A lot of people don't realize that. And that's the first thing that we need to do, is ask and then kind of surrender it and be open to the answers that come to us, and then take action where we're guided to. And we always give gratitude. Gratitude is one of the best things I know, because then we change our focus on what's not good, what's not working, to what is. And so that's a nice way to create a shift too, out of the fear. Maybe if Susan and her daughter, rather than focusing on what they don't want, go into gratitude of what they're appreciating in their life. There's so many things that we kind of take for granted, don't we?
Susan says thank you for those suggestions. She's living with her dad and in resistance to spiritual suggestions.
Yeah,
So how about the nature? That's, that's kind of a way around it. That I found has worked actually for a lot of young people.
Why I think just the simple questioning, it's not like a spiritual thing. That's just like opposite thing. Oh, cool. What's the opposite of that? Just get her to put words on that.
That's a good idea. Yeah. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. In a spiritual way.
And you know what? It's putting our attention on our intention. So really, basically, how do we assemble that, right? Okay, so we want to shift from what we don't want to what we do want. No spiritual.
That's right.
Yeah, we've never been taught that we are creators. We've never been taught how to create. So we've just been taught how to react. It's like, ooh, danger, danger, Will Robinson, rut row. Now what do I do? And we keep living our life from the rut row. Now what do I do? Instead of, all right, how would I like it to be? What would I like to create? Because when we realize that we are actually the creators of our lives, it puts the ball back in our court. It's like, wait a minute, I actually get to choose. I don't have to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. I can actually create for myself. I can create in my 3 feet.
Right.
If I just create my 3 feet to be the way that I want, then what we don't realize is that we're each these beautiful, unique beings. We have been created in the image of Source, and we have been each given our own unique qualities and attributes. So it's like we're our own puzzle piece, and we come into this earth, and then we go, oh my gosh, I don't look at this place. This is crazy. I don't know what to do. And then we try to shift our puzzle piece. We have to change we try to change our shape to match the shape of the external world. And we end up in these really crazy shapes that don't feel good. And so the answer is to unkink ourselves and to go back to our original shape.
Mhm.
And then when we hold our own shape, the other puzzle pieces come to match us. So then our world starts matching us instead of us trying to match the external world.
Mm. Susan says her daughter's tuned into nature and animals. And
Beautiful.
so if you're with her in nature, I've found that every lesson is, I can find an answer just in a tree. You know, you look at a tree and you ask her, do you think that tree worries about anything? You know, does that tree stress? Does that tree feel like it is in a hurry and has to get somewhere really quick? You know, it doesn't. It leaves, right? It leaves.
It leaves where it wants to.
It creates leaves. It unleaves when they fall off. But mostly, even in the strongest wind, it bends and it goes with the flow and it moves where it needs to move. And then you take the how solid it is and how firm it is. Like if you hug a tree, you just you feel the power of that. And then there's what goes on underneath the ground. Like all the trees are in communication and supporting each other underneath the ground. And so there is no stress in the tree. There is no fear in the tree. And yeah, the tree just has
Beautiful. I brought my little book my first book,
Aw,
Messages Are Everywhere, and it's all about nature.
beautiful.
So if you want to email me, I'll send you a free PDF, Susan. Yeah. And so I opened the book and it's called Monkey Time. The light is shining brightly. The air sweetly caresses my face as I stroll along the path in Costa Rica. Butterflies dance around in colors of royal blue, banana yellow, and striking orange. The palm trees click in the breeze, creating a soothing sound. Looking over to my left, I watch as the turquoise blue ocean petals in and moves out as I become aware of my breathing. Easy does it. I have all the time in the world to relax and take it all in. I hear rustling and turn to see a monkey hanging upside down from a tree. He appears to be playing hide and seek with me. I begin to laugh and he cocks his head at me. I feel so happy and joyful. I feel like a young child again, spontaneous and connected with the whole world. That's what I'm looking for, a little fun. It's good to have fun. I start skipping along as I once did many years ago. It feels so freeing to just let go. I am humming with the beat of the jungle.
I love that.
I know I brought it for a reason.
Beautiful. Yeah, we forget about fun. Like life can be really a lot of fun, but we can't have a lot of fun when we're in fear. So fear blocks fun. So
And the energy of joy elevates our vibrational frequency.
yeah.
So it's a natural way. That's nature working. And when we're in that place of fun and joy, we feel good. And then we connect those good things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Oh, Keith pulled another card and Archangel Haniel came again.
What a big surprise, right? I was like, I'm here, use me. This one says, and this one speaks directly, I think, to Susan and her daughter. I am Archangel Haniel, and I vibrate with the energies of joy, love, passion for life, and vitality. I am available to you when your heart is heavy, during challenging times, and when you find yourself in uncomfortable situations. When you feel a wave of, I don't know what to do here, clickety clack, call me, and I will guide you with the words to say.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Hanging out.
We have many, many non-physical helpers. So Karen is saying, I find that a lot of people, including myself in the past, that healing equals a full alleviation of symptoms, whether that be pain or something else. What are your thoughts on this belief? So for
So
me,
can you, yeah. Can you repeat that question again? I
sure.
couldn't find, I want to find out if she's in the middle of it or if she's gone through it yet.
I find that a lot of people, including myself in the past, that healing equals a full alleviation of symptoms, whether that be pain or something else. What are your thoughts on this belief? So speaking for myself, I used to think the same thing. You know, it's like, oh, well, healing is just this simple little process where I just feel better and better and better every day until everything is all good. And what I actually realized is that healing itself is the painful part. Healing is like the body reconstructing itself. So if there is something to be healed, there's something that is off balance that needs to be brought back into balance. So I talk about it like if you were going to upgrade your kitchen, and you know, it's like the kitchen had a bunch of wear and tear, and it just needed some upgrade. What's the first thing that would happen? You would actually deconstruct. You would rip out everything first before you put things back in. And then when you start building it back up, there's hammering and sawing, and it's noisy and it's dirty, and there's a lot of confusion going on until you finally get to the finish work where you're putting in the tiles and the paint and all of that stuff. And then you're done. But healing is that process of reconstruction. And it's not fun a lot of times. So, but once you get past that, then you've left the clickety-clack, and then you've got that lovely new kitchen. What do you say? Pat?
Yeah. And I'm feeling into it because this past year I fell in March of right when this whole thing happened. And after that, I broke my wrist. I needed surgery. I had a plate put in. Then I had back surgery. And then most recently, I had a rotator cuff surgery. So I had a lot of things going on this year from that fall. So I got to play a lot with that whole healing thing. And it was interesting because prior to that, through Reiki, I thought, well, I can heal anything just like that. You know, it's a belief system, and I can move into anything that's out of alignment. And yet what I found, which is exactly what you're saying, it was a process. And it also brought up a lot of lessons for me. One of the biggest ones was not blaming anyone, because, you know, I went to the first thing, like, I told that guy I didn't want to go up that mountain, and I didn't listen to myself. So first of all, I didn't pay attention to my own tuition, that was the first thing, right? First, that was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
The second thing was not blaming him. It wasn't his fault. He didn't drag me up there. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, here you go. So we can also learn a lot through the process. The third thing that I found is compassion. Compassion for when people are sick and when they are ill. Because in the past, I was like, oh, you can fix it. You just have to change your thoughts. You just have to change your feelings. And yeah, that is part of it. And there's a part of compassion, seeing it from that place of love and not judging, letting go of all the judgments. So that was my 3-prong answer.
I had, like you had experienced in the last year, you know, everything from motorcycle falling on my ankle to hitting my funny bone so hard that I had tingling numbness, to then my wrist, all left side receiving, right? All left side. And so
mine was all the right.
giving, okay. So as I really looked at that, you know, what's the same about every one of the things that happened was my focus, my awareness. My focus wasn't there. So I am like purple, white, right? I mean, okay, maybe green, right? From green up, right? in the chakras, and not always in touch with red at all. Yet red focus is something that would be really important when lifting a simple 12-pack of cans out of a cart with your non-dominant hand, right? Something that simple to twist the wrist. It was like, well, that's stupid. That shouldn't even happen. I mean, all I did was pull out the the way that I pulled it out was I was already on to the next thing as I was pulling it out. So there's no focus there, right?
Right.
Focus there. So my wrist is like, hey, over here, right? So every one of those things had to do with a lack of focus. And like you said, with the motorcycle that fell on my ankle, that was not listening to my first instinct. Again, focus, right?
Yeah.
That's usually where my focus always is. Then it's what I teach. First instinct is always
Right. Me too.
every time, because whether it's me or angels or I call it first instinct,
Yeah.
whatever I call it, it's like that thing is right, but only every time. And when I deviate from that, that's where stuff happens.
Goes awry. And the other reason why I didn't pay attention to my intuition is I was being a people pleaser.
Ah,
Oh, the people pleaser.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, they want me to go. I'd be holding everyone back and that blah, 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 blah. So then I learned, nope, don't want to be a people pleaser.
That's huge.
Yeah. Can
these
anyone
Yes.
do that one?
Huge.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Look
the
at
intuition told me that, and then I said, oh, but they want me to go and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
right there it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, the old butt. And
Mhm.
when you're in the moment, right? It always happens in those quick second moments where you don't get to, if I can get back into the center and meditate and hold on, you guys walk and I'll go back here and meditate for 5 minutes. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Anytime I follow the butt, I get kicked in the
Ah,
butt.
right? It's like, get that big fat butt out of there.
Yeah, but
But I feel like it was a big lesson for this year too. Because I chose looking within what's the best thing for me, not what everybody's telling me what to do.
yes,
Whether it's a vaccination or anything, it doesn't matter. It's the free will. It's coming back to what feels like, if it's in alignment with me, that's what I'm doing.
you're 3 feet. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. The 3 feet, my circle.
Yeah. For sure.
Mm.
When we don't pay attention to that intuition is telling us something. If somebody's telling us to do something, it's like, that is our soul talking. It's like, hey, pay attention here. It's like anytime we feel that resistance, I talk about, if you're in a city and they have traffic that goes one direction or the other,
Mhm.
if you're trying to make a right-hand turn into oncoming traffic, there's going to be a sign that says no, do not enter. And it's not like do not enter because you're stupid or do not enter because you're not worthy. Like do not enter because everybody else is going the other way. Exactly. So it's like that resistance that we feel. It's like, oh, I'm looking into the oncoming traffic. Like I either need to go turn left and go with the traffic, or I need to go another block so I can turn in the direction that I want to go.
One thing that I want to bring to everyone's attention is that we took the time after we're injured or hurt to see maybe what lessons we learned from it.
Yeah.
Instead of, oh, I just got hurt and that's awful and blah, blah, right? It's like, oh, what did I learn from that? That's really an important key.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like to say, if there is a thing as sin, it would be repeating the same mistake over and
Over and over again.
Right? And I want to bring in awareness to this book, and both of these incredible ladies are in this book because they had tools on how to get through the clicky. So this book is 20 ended up being 20 of people that I know were a walking, talking demonstration of staying peaceful in a seemingly toxic world, and had the tools to get through times like this. So
Mhm.
I would say the easiest access to all the tips and tools that you would ever need to deal with a time like this is in the Clickety-Clack series. And you just can, there's 2 of the books now, and you can go on to Amazon and feel into which one or both are feel right for you. Grab a copy, because it's magical, and it's kind of, it's just a little bit of a selfish project for me, because I get to meet all these incredible difference makers, and I do the interviews, which we do an interview process to get the answers for the book. I get to receive those first. I do those calls myself.
Yeah.
So I get to hear all the goodness from all the masters myself, and then make it, turn it into a beautiful book. So I just wanted to share that, because we were talking about the Clickety-Clack, but you can get it. You can get it on Amazon in every form.
Yeah, and Karen Can is in the first volume.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's through
Yeah, it's
Karen
really-
that Kathy and I are both in the second volume. So
Aw, thank you. And thank you, Keith. You made the whole process simple and fun.
Mm.
So that was really nice.
And being in a book, whew,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
not
That's
my
what I'm
experience
saying.
with my first book.
I know.
Or second.
Well, that's why you're the bookman. And it is perfect that it's out there for people to read. It's a nice source.
Yeah.
Like you said, it has 20, each version has different groupings and different information. And people will get exactly what they need, something that resonates to them, that someone's speaking to them in their language. So that's really nice to have that culmination.
Mhm.
So
And then the cards,
cool.
these cards speak. Look, honey, I just picked, and then these cards.
She's just hanging up with it.
Beyondbeliefbooks.com. Beyondbeliefbooks.com is where you can find these. And believe it or not, there's actually more other archangels that were channeled. Ooh, upside down. Interesting. That were that I channeled. Asked each of them for 11 archangels for 4 messages each. And you want to talk about a like unpossessed moment, because I would like ask them for a message, and then I just sat in front of the computer, and then it just started typing. And so when you're really channeling and you're aware of that, here's what happened for me: is words are coming out, and it's like, that's not words I use, that's not a thought I would have, right? And it's just pouring through. That's, you go, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the just magic came through when I asked them for that. So I knew that was
Beautiful.
create those cards. And I had all Doreen Virtue cards for years,
right?
and I was like,
Yeah,
maybe
That's what I have in my hand right now.
Yep.
Doreen Karch. And this is Adriana. I am leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I am communicating for your intuition, your thoughts, and your dreams.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No coincidence. And, so you brought up a good point. These are all tools that we can use.
Yeah.
Right? So the cards, the angel cards that you've created, or the books that we have, or the crystals, they're all there for us. And that is one of the best ways that I know to connect with Source. It's kind of, the information was brought through, right? In that place of inspiration.
Yeah.
And then it can be utilized in the material world to bring us and to give us guidance and answers and direction. And crystals too. I mean, crystals are fun. There's so many different things to play with.
Spirit, God, source, angels, whatever you want to call it,
Animals.
will show up to you in a way that you will be able to accept it and wrap your mind around it. So people say like, well, how come I ask a question and I don't hear my angel's voice? It's like, well, do you believe that you can hear your angel's voice just by asking? Well, not exactly. Well, that's why. So what would you be able to accept? Could you believe that if you shuffled a set of cards long enough that it would be infused with your energy, and then you'd be able to pull a card that would be perfect for you? Yeah, okay, great. Let's start with that. So I like to say, it takes a series of baby steps to unlock our subconscious mind, because like
Hmm.
subconscious mind does run the show. And when you get subconscious mind on board with I am open to all possibilities, that's where you start to hear voices like me, or other people, or see things, right? See, hear all the different entities, and sometimes.
And again, it can come out in nature. I had one woman, she said, I never get messages. And I said, kind of like what you're saying, I said, well, how would you like to receive messages to know that you're really receiving messages?
Yeah.
And she said, shells. I said, okay, shells. Good. So she calls me up. Oh my God, I can't believe it. She said, I received a shell necklace the next day. I was walking and I found a shell, not in a place where you should find a shell.
Yeah.
And then there was a magazine on the table and had a big shell on it. And so it was like she had to ask for it in
Yeah.
whatever way she could understand it, and then realize, okay, this is a message. This is a signal. This is how it works.
Yeah.
And then that kind of opened her up.
I have a whole box full of conch shells, the
Mm-hmm.
kind that, and we were in Florida, Mara and I was like, I've never found one of those on the beach. I'd like to find one of those on the beach, as we walked down to the beach. And we started walking, and then it was like, oh, there's one. Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
There's one. They're all up the beach. So we grabbed all of these, and we took them back, and I put them in their box, or put them up on the by the fireplace, and just built like a little shrine to those things, because it was like instant manifestation. And to this day, we take a walk on the beach every day in Florida, and we're there half the year. To this day, not one day have we ever found one more of those shells. They were all there right when I said I would.
Exactly.
This,
Wow.
and never since.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awesome. That was carved
That's
out.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that was just like,
I can hear you.
and I think that was for my wife.
Wow.
That one was for Mara.
Is that funny?
She's, I believe in the stuff you say, and then every once in a while it seems like I'll just go, is it though, for a second, right?
Yeah.
And then boom, something will happen again, and I'll be like, okay, all right, I'm back. Now you were talking about maybe a process for this, maybe.
To do a little meditation
Yeah.
that we could do. Yeah.
Who wants to-
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Awesome.
Are you feeling that, Kathy? Or
Sure, absolutely, I am.
I thought
I
so.
feel I hear you. I hear you.
All right.
Oh,
So
can I begin?
Absolutely.
I think as I'm holding on to this conch shell, and the first thing that's starting is I'm feeling us at the beach, at the ocean. No matter where we are, just breathing into that space, feeling the tranquility. With each breath that we have, letting go of any anxiety or tensions you may be feeling anywhere in your body. Breathing in the love. Exhaling the light. Breathing in the light. Exhaling the love. Become aware of the sun cascading down, enlightening you, feeling the warmth upon your skin. As you breathe in the freshness and connect with the air element. The air is our very breath. Source gives us everything we need. Breathing in the gift of life. They're also showing me the book, Gift of the Sea. Breathe that air in. Feel the love that you are. Feel the soft sand beneath your feet. Little crystals that have formed into these tiny, minuscule, soft sand. And as you look out into the water, See the light dancing like a million diamonds. Feeling the abundance of all that is good. And just take this all in, feeling great appreciation for your life in this moment. All we have is the present moment. And as you take that next breath in, you see a school of dolphins jumping out through the water, up and down. Feel into the energy of these dolphins. Maybe you could even hear their clicks and sounds, blowing bubbles. And this reminds you to create that sacred bubble for yourself in which to experience yourself. Breathe it in and feel the joy and the exaltation of the dolphins. So be in this space, feeling great appreciation for all that is with you, for all of the beings that you can see and not see. They are there to guide you along your path in ease and grace. And I pass it on.
And notice how we feel right now. Notice the peace and the calm and the tranquility. That as we place our attention on this beautiful beach, on the sun, on the sand, on the wind, on the water, we have all of the elements here with us. The sun representing the fire, the wind, the air, the water, the sand, the earth. And by placing our attention in this scene, we're simply able to bring ourselves into this space of peace and calm and serenity. It's a physical, visceral sensation of peace and calm and the joy with the dolphins. And remember that we can always have say over how we feel. When we're feeling fear, it's okay to feel it. It's not a problem. However, we also have the choice to change that in any moment. And we simply need to make a choice to change and place our attention elsewhere. Because when we are creating, and we are creating in every moment of every day, we are attracting experiences to us. And when we create from these energies of peace and ease and joy, we attract beautiful experiences to ourselves. So allow yourself to notice your angel wings. Unfurl your wings. Notice the angel that you are. And allow your wings to open. And with these angel wings, you too can fly above any of the noise and chaos of the world, simply by placing your attention inside. And pass it on.
And in this moment, as we take this breath, we have everything we need. Nothing else needed in this moment with this breath. So at any time, sit down, take three of those breaths and ask yourself, in this moment, is it truly source energy is all there is, happening through us, as us, around us. Know that we too have access to that. We need to sit fast. Stay focused in the question we asked. Are available to us. These words. Grateful place. So it is.
So it is. Beautiful. Karen says, I often joked that it would be awesome to have an 8-foot angel tell me in English the answer. My clients laugh.
English.
I love that. Beautiful.
Hmm.
Yes. Delbert, thanks for all the wisdom flying around here today. Karen says, bestsellers, baby.
That's the international bestsellers.
Yeah. Susan says, red equals focus. I love that. Red is one of my brand colors. Beautiful. We love that.
Mm.
Karen says, personally, I've learned a lot about pain, and what I have learned has helped a lot of other people. We love that about you, Karen. Karen's
Yes.
always sharing beautiful
Yay.
tools and techniques and information to help others get out of pain.
Absolutely. It's helped me. That's for
Absolutely. All of us. Healing
Mhm.
Chronic Pain is a fabulous book. Karen's book called Healing Chronic Pain.
Mm.
Anybody has had chronic pain, go look for that book on Amazon. Beautiful. Great. So hopefully we've given all of you a little bit of insight into how we navigate through the clickety-clack of life. It's not ours to get caught in that clickety-clack. There's a lot of clickety-clack that is being generated on purpose in the world. It is being sold to us. It's being told to us. It's being gifted to us in many ways,
It
shapes, and
always has been.
forms. So just because we're given a gift of some clickety-clack doesn't mean that we need to keep it. It doesn't mean that we need to stay in it. Just because somebody's selling something doesn't mean we need to buy it. So for each one of us, we each have all the tools that we need to navigate that clickety-clack. And there are many of us out there who are here to help, just to share our stories, to share our tools, to share the things that we have that have helped us. And this is why Karen and Kathy and Keith and I and Susan, we're all out here to be resources for any of you that are having trouble navigating the clickety-clack, because we're not meant to get stuck there. We have far more control. There are 2 layers of consciousness that are playing out right now simultaneously. And one layer is where all of the clickety-clack is. It's where the fear and the doubt and the worry and all of that is playing out. And there's a completely other layer that is literally creating heaven on earth. And it's like the one that we place our attention on is the one that we will experience. So where do you want to place your attention? And if you're experiencing the one that you're not too excited about and you'd like to experience a different one, reach out, because there are many ways that we can give you steps up into that new reality of creating heaven on earth, where the soul is the solution.
Yay.
So, Kathy, do you have any words for everybody today, and let us know how we can get in touch with you? How do we find you?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you very much for having this beautiful session that we've had today. I am honored and I feel such love and blessings coming through from both of you. It's always a joy to be together. Thank you. And so I'm Kathy Bradley with Kathy Bradley and the Angels. You can find me online, and I'm in the Clickety-Clack, Volume 2, along with Lisa. Thank you, Keith. And my other book, The Light Becomes You. And so I look forward to connecting with anyone. Thank you and love you all. Blessings.
Thank you. And Keith.
Yeah, well, what I'd love to leave you with is that for all of us, is you were born for a time like this.
Mm.
There are no accidents that you're here walking the earth right now during this particular time. So we are to be the what people would call light workers, the way showers, the truth tellers, the ones that help people get through the clickety-clack. Those are who we are here to be. And so when people trip and fall, we're the ones that are here to pick them up, put our arm around them, tell them that everything's okay. That's our purpose. That's why we're here. Anything on top of that is just awesome. But I believe that is why we chose, keyword being chose to be here at this time, so that we could be part of that, part of the Great Awakening, part of being there to be there and love people up. And I love what Kathy, you were talking about, you know, how you feel, right? How am I feeling this moment? So when you get that, or you're feeling good and you're loving yourself unconditionally, and you have your 3 feet worked out, then you're truly able to serve everyone else. You can find me at leonsmithpublishing.com, leonsmithpublishing.com, or Google Keith Leon S. hit enter. I'm not hiding anywhere. You'll see plenty of videos, interviews, anything that you want. It's right there. It's been a pleasure to be with you, and with all
Thank
of you.
you.
All of you who are seeing this live
Yes.
now and watching it later, and that there is no time and space. So you are with us here right now.
It's all in divine alliance.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I'm Lisa Warner. I'm the author of Navigating the Clickety-Clack with everybody else, and my book called The Simplicity of Self-Healing. And you can find me at connectingyoutoyou.com is my website, spelled out in full, connectingyoutoyou.com. And my group on Facebook is Soul Sourced Healing. So the soul is really the solution. We are the non-physical beings. We are the infinite soul. And for anyone that is interested, coming up this coming week in September of 2021, I am starting a new series of masterclasses for becoming aware of ourselves as the soul, as the non-physical being, as we spread our wings and we operate from that layer of ourselves. We start creating heaven on earth in real time, consciously. So if you would like to start recognizing yourself as the beautiful, magnificent, angelic being that you are, so you can start creating heaven on earth for yourself, please reach out to me. You can find me at connectingyoutoyou.com. So thank you all so much. I love doing these Solution Sundays because the soul is the solution. And I meet the most beautiful, amazing souls here. And so I love that we can all share our gifts and talents and unconditional love.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Have
Until
a blessed day.
yes,
Yeah.
till next week, create for yourselves a great week. Bye for now.